Shameless Season 2 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, it'll be important if you are caught up to the point where I am and rewatching or watching Shameless, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description for you. If that happens to be the case, you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And while I never did reviews of Shameless before when it aired, I did do a rant on the series finale. So if you've seen every single episode of Shameless and want to hear me bitch about the series finale of Shameless, go ahead and check that video out. I'll put it right here with about 20 seconds left to go in the video, the end screen, with a few other recommendations. It's a fun video. It's one of my most popular videos. Check it out. This will be Shameless Season 2, Episode 7. The title of this episode is called A Bottle of Jean Nate. And this will be my review reaction recap after just finishing watching the episode. Jasmine wakes Fiona up by licking her ear. Why doesn't she lick something else at this point? Fiona says she's going to wash Jasmine's slobber off her with a shower. Jody's banging Karen to the Seal song, my power, my pleasure, my pain, and he always comes at that part. That's the first thing I ever heard about Shameless. One of my old roommates was telling me about that. So that's the first actual thing I heard about Shameless, was the my power, my pleasure, my pain thing. Karen isn't impressed with that at all. Frank's bathing Grammy Peg. Lip takes a piss with his little pecker. Frank and Grammy Peg make fun of his little pecker. Jody's friends from the tattoo school have arrived. Karen doesn't look too happy. Kev and V have gotten a rabbit, and they call it Ethel too, because Kev is missing Ethel. Jimmy Steve stops over, even though he wasn't invited. Fiona tells Jimmy Steve to go. Jody's friends are sharing pregnancy horror stories to Karen. Frank brings Grammy Peg to the alibi as she won big at bingo and won't give Frank any money, and he doesn't get any profits at all, and it's just depressing. So Frank tries to get Kermit to take care of Grammy Peg, but Kermit, of course, declines, and Frank wants Grammy gone, with or without Fiona's help, and Fiona and the kids actually like having her around, because she does things for them. She shows interest in them. Kev shows Kermit and Tommy postcards from Ethel, because that's all he can think about. Karen tells Lip to get rid of Jody. Like, she's tired of him. This my power, my pleasure, my pain thing was the last straw. Grammy actually teaches Carl something, since he's not really good at anything, a side hustle to get more Sudafed so they can start a meth lab in the basement, and Carl actually does pretty well at acquiring all this. Fiona, V, and Kev go to the boat that Jasmine bugged them to come to. Jimmy Steve is also there with his wife. I can't remember her name. It starts with an I. And Kev does a little cocaine. Compliments of Jasmine, because there's always snow around where Jasmine is. Lip tells Ian him and Karen are getting back together. Karen gets Jody to sign a prenuptial agreement. Jimmy Steve tries to get back with Fiona, but she says you're married. He says, say the word, and that will be done. Fiona is upset over the whole situation because she does really like Jimmy Steve, and she was going to go with them at the end of season 1, but didn't. So Jasmine gives her more than a peck on the lips, and I thought it was going to lead somewhere, but then she realizes she misread it, and Fiona leaves. Jody's having sex with Karen again, and she flips out just before the my power, my pleasure, my pain thing is about to end, and kicks him out and just gets mad. The meth lab that Carl and Grammy Peg had set up explodes a little bit, and Fiona is pissed. Fiona goes to the alibi room and tells Frank he was right. Fiona and Frank have drinks. Grammy fainted at an Ace Hardware, they find out, and was taken to an ER, or the ER, I should say, and it turns out that Grammy Peg has stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Ian and Lip start to fight under the L bridge, and they beat each other up and then decide to go get a beer. So they just need to fight for a minute, and then they were done. First day of school, and Lip tells Fiona that he has dropped out. He needs to support Karen and his kid. Ethel number 2, the rabbit, is now missing. V says they should have a kid of their own. Kev likes that idea and wants to fuck V in the backyard. And then as they're laying down, they see Ethel number 2, the rabbit. So the rabbit is back, and then Fiona, or I should say Jasmine, tells Fiona she got kicked out, wants to stay at the Gallagher place. Fiona declines, and then Jasmine gets really pissed off, must be all the snow she's doing, and calls Fiona an asshole and leaves. And as she's leaving, like, Fiona has a change of heart and says, Jasmine, but she continues to go to her car, but then Jimmy Steve gets there and shows up and asks Fiona why she didn't meet him, or why she didn't meet him at the airport. And she tells him she was there, but she left. She was on her way there, I should say. And tells him to leave, and he tells Fiona he loves her. And then that's the end of the episode, and there is a mid-credit scene where Kev and V take Stan and the rabbit, Ethel 2, to the old folks' home that V works at, and that's the end of the episode. So funny stuff here. As far as my score of the episode, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. And my characters of the episode, for the women, I'm going to give it to Karen, as Karen all of a sudden got tired of Jody in just one episode. Maybe I missed something before, but just this episode, all of a sudden she went from loving Jody to being disgusted by his sight. And then I guess I forgot to mention there's some scenes of Jody singing outside her window, and she's like, shut up! And it's pretty funny. And then for the guys, the character of the episode, I flip-flop between Frank, Kev, and Lip. I'm going to give this one to Lip, because Lip, with the stuff that he had to do for Karen in this episode, I think Lip deserves it. So, other than that, my thoughts are, I kind of wanted to see if Jasmine and Fiona would be in a relationship. I don't remember if we see Jasmine anymore after this. We might not, because her character, I do remember, just kind of all of a sudden disappeared, and this might be the end of Jasmine. I do like Amy Smart, and that would be an interesting sight to see her and Emmy Rossum getting it on. But hey, you know what? It is what it is. We at least got some kisses, some quick pecks at least. So you've heard what I have to say. Now it is your turn. If you're a fan of Shameless, make sure you smash that like button. It does help me out with the YouTube algorithm. Share the video with anybody that you know. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode. I gave it a 7.5. What would you give it? Whom would be your male and whom would be your female character of the episode, and any other tidbits that you want to add, or stuff that I might have forgot to mention. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to check out my Shameless series finale rant right here, assuming you've seen every episode of Shameless. And don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.